Good morning. What a privilege to be with you this morning. It really, really is. I love that we get the opportunity to worship God together, bringing our praise, our thanksgiving to God for Jesus, for who he is, for what he has done for us. And I love that we get to sing, that we can get to use songs as part of that worship. I love that we have some dancers expressing their worship in a different way. I love that. At the risk of embarrassing someone, I love seeing Miriam on her saxophone. I do. She kind of gets lost in worship in a good way when she's playing something that really God has gifted her to play. And it draws me into worship. Angela and I had the privilege of being at Hill House Camp this summer with 7 to 11-year-old children. And I think just about every day, Jackson was in the worship team, leading us in worship on his guitar. Don't get me wrong, when I saw him there and it filled my heart and it encouraged me to worship, I wasn't seeing a 10-year-old boy and thinking, isn't that cute? I was seeing a worshiper. It was amazing. Now, a very long time ago, when I was a boy, in Sunday school, that's the equivalent to children's church today, I used to sing a very old song, which most of you are way too young to even know. And it goes like this. Have you heard it? Wide, wide as the ocean, high as the heavens above. Does anyone know this song? Goodness me, a lot. Surely you're too young. Deep, deep as the deepest sea is my Saviour's love. I, though so unworthy, still am a child of his care. For his word teaches me that his love reaches me everywhere. Wouldn't it be fun to get Jerry out the front and just sing that to us? I refer to this song because Deep and Wide has been influential in my thinking about the talk for today. But I'll come back to that later on. There's something else I love. I love our vision statement, continually reproducing the life of Jesus. Now, I know it's possible to get bored with a phrase that is repeated over and over again. I know that a form of words that is constantly in front of us can become invisible. But I genuinely believe that these 6 words really express what we are all about here at Abbey. The closer we get to Jesus, the more we embrace his teachings, the more like him we become, the more we reproduce the life of Jesus in us. The more we do what Jesus did, the more we love, the more we are generous with what we have, the more we reproduce the life of Jesus in our homes and in our communities. The more we share Jesus with others, the more we share our own story of faith in him, the more we invite others to follow Jesus, the more we reproduce the life of Jesus in other people. This is not boring. This is exciting, to be honest. And Jesus is absolutely front and center for us as a church. Now, there are 4 parts to our vision that give a little more detail. We're going to journey with this today. Firstly, we're using the word discover. We love Jesus and we want to help people find and follow Jesus. Does that mark us as a church? Do you remember this time last year, we started a 3-month teaching series called The Jesus Way. And we were looking at the Sermon on the Mount. In fact, on the 1st of September last year, the equivalent to today, the first Sunday in September, the first Sunday of a brand new academic year, our scripture came from the Bible and from the book of Matthew, chapter 4, verse 19. Come, follow me, Jesus said, and I will send you out to fish for people. We've been given this invitation. And it's an invitation that we are meant to pass on to other people. Follow and fish. I wonder now, as we consider the year ahead, who are we going to help find and follow Jesus? Have a think for a moment. Who's that one person you care about, you love deeply, you long that they would find Jesus for themselves? And what are you going to do to help them, to encourage them, to find him, to discover him for themselves? We want to help people find and follow Jesus. Then there is family. We love each other. Is that true? We pray, worship, and learn so that together we become more like Jesus. Do you remember year past our series on a Sunday morning about prayer? Acts chapter 4, verse 14 simply says this: they all joined together constantly in prayer. I sincerely hope every one of us gets to engage with our prayer week that Stuart was talking about earlier. That one way or another we'll get involved. That every single one of us will do one of those things during the prayer week. Is it gathering together when we're all together? Is it on your own in the prayer room, going into the prayer room with a group of people, with a friend? But to be involved. And it's not just me praying, it's us praying together. This term, we're going to be continuing with our Thursday gathering. It was new last year, and we're committing to it for a while longer. And it's been another opportunity to gather, to pray, to worship, to learn together, and to be family. Do you know, our experience of the Thursday gathering over the last year has been this. New people have come to Ebby for the very first time on that occasion. Not just that, but people who used to come to Ebby and kind of stopped coming for a long while, they've come back and joined us on a Thursday. Possibly because Sundays just doesn't work with them. Thursday is a winner. And some come on a Thursday, but they come on a Sunday as well. They choose to come. We've had that experience of all those things on our Thursday gathering, being family, praying together, learning together. I want to ask you a question. Has anyone here noticed over the year a change in our language regarding Sundays? Have you noticed it? Has it been obvious? Your frown suggests someone's saying, I've spotted, have you? Well, what is it? Shout it out. Wow. Wow, I don't know if you heard that. That actually we're a bit more careful on using Christian jargon when we speak, just to acknowledge there might be people with us who've never been to church before, never read the Bible, don't hear the lingo that Christians use. So we're trying to make it more accessible, more understandable for everyone. And the title of this gathering is Gathering Now. You're not at a Sunday service, by the way, in case you didn't notice. You're at our Sunday gathering. I mean, the Greek word for church, so let's have some real education here. The Greek word for church in the Bible is the word ecclesia, which wasn't even a religious term. It was a commonly used word to denote a gathering of people, an assembly of people together for a specific purpose. So 2,000 years ago, you could have had a civic ecclesia. You could have had a military ecclesia. But now, there is a Jesus ecclesia. And I hope we've got this. It's not the building. It's not the event. It's the people. Us gathered together. The church being, or should be being, an inclusive and extensive family. So, I don't know if you noticed that you don't come to a Sunday service anymore. You come to a Sunday gathering. And we gather together, but we gather together with Jesus as well. Just 2 or 3 who are gathered together in my name, and I am there with them, Jesus says. Now comes serve. Number 3. We follow Jesus' example. We give our time, our skills, and our resources generously. Do you remember our series on a Sunday around Easter? It was called Pointing to the Cross. Pointing to the cross. And we looked at Isaiah 53 in the Bible, this amazing chapter, often referred to as the suffering servant, referring, of course, to Jesus. See, and this is Isaiah, in fact, just before 53, Isaiah 52, verse 13. See, my servant will act wisely. He will be raised and lifted high and highly exalted. I see Jesus in there. Interesting that Jesus himself said, look, I've not come to be served. I have come to serve. Now, did you know that a big proportion of the people who come to Ebenezer Church generously and willingly volunteer their time to serve others and to serve God? And it's a huge thank you to one another for that. And yes, looking ahead, we're committed to take on a new staff member onto team to work with and to serve our young people. The job advert is still live. It closes today, tomorrow, 10 o'clock in the morning. Last year we took on Mary, didn't we, as our children and families coordinator, and it's been wonderful. It was mentioned even earlier, to get a new parent and toddler group up off the ground. Again, people volunteering their time to make that happen. So many of you generously give your time to serve other people. And yes, I know within the church here, but in other ways too outside of the church. Finally, there's transform. We partner with others. We actively engage with our communities, our city, and our world to show Jesus' love and tackle issues of injustice. Do you remember our recent looking at the minor prophets in the Bible? And we had quite a focus on these books that sometimes we rarely look at, really. And Micah, one of those minor prophets. And you know the verse. Did you know it was from Micah? But this is Micah 6. He has showed you what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? To act justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God. And I believe that there are many ways in which we as church together have demonstrated the love of Jesus in seeking to address issues of injustice and poverty and loneliness and brokenness and so much more. And in doing this ourselves, we've also found ways to partner with others in doing that too. So we've got some global partners who are serving God overseas, or serving overseas people who come to this country. And we love partnering with them. We have some citywide partners who we engage with and commit to as a church. And we are going to continue to commit to these partners over the year ahead and ask you to join us in that commitment too. So those are the 4 parts to our vision. I think they're good. I mean, they're helpful and they capture what we want to do together. But I do want to return to that ancient song. Wide, wide as the ocean, deep, deep as the deepest sea. Deep and wide, that's what I'm angling at here. Sorry, no pun intended. That literally just came into my head. Look, if you are here with us today, and you've only been coming to us over the last year, then can I say, first of all, how absolutely delighted we are to have you with us. Genuinely, we are. My hope is that this has been a demonstration of our welcome of people being wide. That our doors are open wide. Ironically, the inner doors are closed, but you know what I mean. Our front door is open to all and any. Wasn't it amazing last Sunday, if you were here, to hear Victor? His last Sunday with us before moving away from Bristol with his children. And how he just explained to us the welcome and the love that he felt here. Given by you, given by us. And that really lifted my spirits to hear that. And he left us with a verse from the Bible. He drew us to Mark 13:31. Heaven and earth will pass away. And these are Jesus' words. Jesus speaking, my words will never pass away. You know, I think we're going to have to think about that verse over the year ahead. Surely that wasn't a random verse thrown at us. It was a verse given to us out of love. So I wonder, what will that mean to us over the year ahead? Let's not forget that one. Let's hold on to that one. I'm sure that you will have noticed that a lot of our activities as a church do extend arms open wide to all. Whether someone has a Christian faith, a different faith, or no faith, all are welcome. And much of what we do is, and certainly is trying to be, highly accessible and available. Which means some of the things we do are not necessarily religious in their content. They're not necessarily there to preach to people, but they are there, and we do these things together to make it really easy for people to make little steps. I hope we can understand that and accept that. That is partly why we do these things, is just to make it easy for people to come into the church building, for example, to meet us, to get to know us, and us to get to know them, to see and hear what else we do that might be of interest to them. Just little steps. And we get to engage with people, new people, people we don't know, people we've never met. And they'll come. There's a speed quiz later this month. And why are churches running a quiz for everyone? Except this could be one of those little steps. And I believe that from little steps can come bigger steps. Steps towards Jesus. Steps towards faith. That's why we do this. Yes, we want to reach as many people as possible. Yes, we want to introduce Jesus to everyone. Our doors are open wide. Much of what we do is there to support the vulnerable, genuinely seeking to help them in their needs. No strings attached, just loving them and caring for them. Consider the work of the food bank as an example of that. Or our seniors group, Footprints. I can talk about that because I'm involved with my wife, Angela. I mean, numbers have grown over the past year. We average 42 seniors every week. It's a bit like church. It's like a church gathering. And these people value the occasion so much. Many are lonely. Many experience issues of isolation. Many often have poor health. Many are not Christians yet. And they come every week. They come to church. They come to Epi. They come into this building. Actually, I think we've done a lot over recent years to improve the physical environment of this building, to make the building a better welcome for people. And there are other ideas for further improvement to come as well. And in all of this, even in our leadership conversations, we've been acknowledging kind of doors open wide to everyone. A lot of what we do, seeking to make it easy for people to engage with us, to make those little steps. But we've been asking ourselves this: are we going deep? And in the year ahead of us now as a church, is it time to explore going deeper? Whatever that might look like. Of course, I can throw out some suggestions. I mean, going deeper, might that look like people moving from just being attendees at an event to being better connected, making friends? Are people going to join one of our midweek small groups, for example, rather than just coming to church on Sunday. And they're going deeper, and we're going deeper with them. In Andy Stanley's book, interestingly called Deep and Wide, he says this about his church. Our entire ministry model is designed to move people into small groups. We believe circles are better than rows. That's interesting, isn't it? Is there a sense that with rows, for example, our Sunday gathering, you're sitting in rows? Whereas in small groups, you might be in a circle in someone's lounge. I wonder if there's an example of going deeper, people connecting more strongly, coming to one of our small groups. I mean, did you notice the photo I put up on the screen of footprints? On Wednesday, this is just gone, Wednesday gone, we were sat in a circle rather than in rows. Don't get me wrong, we do sit in rows too. But just as a visual example. Are we going deeper in our friendships and relationships with each other, and above all, with Jesus? Are we going to personally share Jesus with those who don't know him yet? Can we go deep on that one? Now, today, I've covered a lot of ground about us as Ebenezer Church, and that was intentional for today. We're considering vision because vision is the big picture. And so, as I finish here, I want to give you some invitations. And there are some genuine questions, some genuine invitations asking for response, asking for some feedback. Just going to give you 3 invitations. In fact, as I do this, maybe the worship team can come up and just get themselves ready as we close our time together with some worship. Here are the invitations I want to extend to you all. First of all, going deeper. Is that for us this year as a church, as Ebby? And what does that mean to you? What does that look like to you? So, we're asking you to talk to us, the church leaders. You've seen 3 in front of you today. Esther hosting the service, Stuart leading worship, I'm speaking. Rach, well, she's in with our young people. And Steve, where are you? Steve is there. Would you talk to us as the church leadership team with what you think about going deeper, what it looks like to you, because you might open up some doors to us that we haven't thought about. And that is a real invitation. In fact, why don't you get your phone out right now and click into that app? Do you click into an app? I don't know. Open the app, your to-do list. Note to oneself and put this down. In the next 2 weeks, I will contact info@Ebby or one of the key leaders and tell them what I think going deeper could look like at Ebby. Right? Get it down. And if you are still analog, there are some sheets on the welcome table that look like this, so you can literally write it down with a pen or some writing implement instead. If you're not digital yet, you're still analog, then you can do that. The second invitation, if you have been here at Ebenezer Church just in the last year, would you talk to us about how we can make our welcome even better? I think we can improve. So there's an invitation. How can we make our welcome even better? The last invitation is the obvious, the continuous, the every week invitation. If you don't know Jesus, I'm not asking you, you don't know about him, you don't know him, then what can we do to help you get to know him? Hey, would you tell us? Share that with us. We're desperate to see all come to know Jesus. And that's an invitation too. So, just a few thoughts about us as Ebenezer Church. It's been a different kind of talk this morning. That was intentional. And I've invited all of you now, not to go away and forget, but to talk to us, to email us, to message us, to write something on a piece of paper and just hand that to us so that we might get a sense of this is us together doing Ebenezer Church in the year ahead, but being Jesus to each other, to ourselves, to all. So, are you up for another year as Ebenezer Church? You're welcome. I would love you to say yes to that one. Hey, let's do this. Let's do it together. Over to the worship team as we close our time with worship.